And I'll be transparent. I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raj?
Motherfuckers playing with me, bro. Real shit. One of them was a bitch and fucking bit me. I'm tired of everybody fucking playing with me and shit. Think I'm always playing and shit. Call me bitch and shit.
This is what happened, Chad. He went to a pro wrestling event with his coach. Those pro wrestlers, they be just as crazy as MMA guys, right? The pro wrestling guy don't know my son, and he hit him over the head with like a can or beer can or a bottle or something.
Welcome back to your daily dose of scandal and glamour. Rampage Jackson finally broke his silence about the wild pro wrestling incident, and his explanation is nothing short of explosive. He laid out exactly what went down and why his son Raja nearly left a pro wrestler fighting for his life in that ring. Meanwhile, the MMA world wasted no time dragging Raja's actions. Some critics went as far as calling him a dumb animal.
Bring that sparring partner back, tornado kick him again. Dumb animal. Brother, dumb animal, put him in a cage, straight up. Raja should have got fucking knocked out cold in that ring. No one was doing anything about it but that pink.
Who should have been locked in a cage, furious that nobody stepped in when chaos broke out. Others even claimed the only way the mess should have ended was with Raja being knocked out cold right there in front of the crowd. UFC star Sean O'Malley also chimed in saying the strikes were beyond brutal and completely out of line. He pointed out that the pro wrestler had smacked Raja over the head with a can.
Ooh, yeah, no, those are full on, like, I'm beating those were brutal. Yeah, oh. I did see the guy hit him over the head with the can, but if the guy thought that was part of, like what I don't know, you can't hurt people like that. It's just,
Questioning if the guy thought it was all just part of the show. Still, O'Malley stressed you can't pull stunts like that because this wasn't scripted entertainment anymore. This was a real fight that could have gone deadly. But Rampage had his own version of events. He explained Raja only went to the event with his coach, and out of nowhere, a wrestler who didn't even know him smashed him with a can or bottle without warning. Rampage said Raja stayed calm because he had specifically told his son not to react.
This is what happened, Chad. He went to a pro wrestling event with his coach. Those pro wrestlers, they be just as crazy as MMA guys, right? The pro wrestling guy don't know my son, and he hit him over the head with like a can or beer can or a bottle or something. And my son didn't know they didn't know it was coming. They didn't tell my son. And he hit my son over the head. I guess he thought my son was a pro wrestler or something. And Raja didn't react, but Raja didn't fight though. He didn't do anything because I told Raja not to get punched, but still nigga hit my son over the head. And then he asked my son, you ain't gonna sell it when you in pro wrestling? So this motherfucker that hit my son is stupid. So in order for me not to go to fucking jail, I gotta talk to his coach.
But even then, he was furious someone dared to hit his boy like that and then tried to brush it off as if it was all for the crowd. Rampage blasted the wrestler as stupid and admitted he had to be talked down by his son's coach just to stop himself from ending up in jail over the whole thing. Brunson spoke out and admitted at first he thought the chaos was just part of a wrestling skit. But once he realized it was real, his tone changed fast. He slammed Raja Jackson's actions as reckless and completely out of line.
All right, follow me real quick. When I first saw this, I thought these guys were playing. You know, WWE hardcore match.
Oh, look at this, Mox has Mox. Oh! Disqualification, but please. No.
After doing my research, this was definitely real.
Oh, you don't.
Unavoidable.
Easy. He's not a fucking worker, bro.
Should have never happened.
I apologize. I appreciate it. I didn't know. I just thought you were a worker.
At the end of the day, I hope the wrestler that was hit and pummeled is okay. And for Raja, your actions were out of line, so you're gonna have to deal with some big boy consequences for this one. All of us can learn a little something from this. Don't let small situations escalate into bigger situations that will ultimately cost you big consequences.
stressing that it should have never happened in the first place. Brunson also made sure to send well wishes to the injured wrestler, hoping he fully recovers, but he didn't sugarcoat his warning, telling Raja that stunts like this carry heavy consequences that could stick for life. He even reminded everyone how tiny clashes can spiral into major disasters that leave scars forever. Conan also jumped in, saying he didn't have every detail but could already see this was no small drama. He warned the situation could turn way more serious if the wrestler, known as Psycho Stu, ended up with brutal injuries like a broken jaw or missing teeth.
I'm getting in front of this and I'm making these predictions without having news if Psycho Stu is injured. If his jaw's broken and some teeth that are loose, all of a sudden you're having a very different conversation. But you have the police that are in possession of irrefutable evidence known as a video that an assault happened, and the police have not taken any action. And they won't take any action until a statement is made one way or the other by Psycho Stu.
Kanan pointed out that police already have crystal clear footage of the attack, but they're sitting tight until Stu files his official statement before making any big moves. Then came Tim Welch, who dropped one of the harshest takes yet. He admitted he could barely stomach watching the video because the man looked completely unconscious while getting attacked. Welch flat out said it appeared Raja's intent, whether planned or not, was to dish out severe damage, maybe even something way worse. He branded the whole thing outrageous with zero excuses and demanded serious punishment. Welch also called it extra shameful since it went down live in front of fans with whispers of a cash reward promised for a knockout.
12-13, like what the? You can't even watch this. The kid's blacked out. The kid's blacked out, and I think his goal right there was to murder. Maybe not. Maybe not. Blacked out, maybe he doesn't know what he's doing, but he damn near killed the man. That's crazy. He's got to get some punishment for this. There's just going to be no excuse. He's going to probably go away for a long while, especially on stream. He's on stream and he said 50 subs for a K.
Welch snapped, making it crystal clear he sees this as one of the ugliest moments to ever hit that ring. Tim Welch didn't hold back when he followed up, warning the future looks grim for Raja Jackson. Even with Rampage's deep pockets and top-tier lawyers, Welch stressed the case could still land under attempted murder. He underlined how dangerous this level of violence is, especially for someone hot-headed enough to keep swinging after the fight was already over. Welch made it clear, martial arts might teach self-defense, but once you keep hitting a man who's already out cold, you're playing with his life, and that's how people end up behind bars. Brendan Schaub added fuel to the fire with his own confession.
And I'll be transparent. I like Raja, and obviously I adore Rampage. Me and Rampage have a great relationship. I love Rampage. And it's just by nature, my initial thought was when I heard about this, and I spoke with Rampage, when I heard about this, I went, all right, how can I defend Raja? I look at all the videos, I watched the full live stream and all that. I got nothing. I can't, you can't defend this. I see this, it's so sad. Because he was just getting started, and that all goes away. If this veteran pro wrestler decides to press charges, that pro wrestler goes, this was a bit, or this was a work, and he just thought that's how it works, I'm not pressing charges, Raja's still gonna take a lot of heat online, but you're not doing jail time. Then we can figure it out. But if that dude wakes up and somebody's in his ear and goes, dude, you gotta make this dude pay. He has to learn a lesson and presses charges. It's gonna be tough. It's gonna be really tough. Attempted murder, aggravated assault, it's gonna be tough. Talking about felony.
At first, he wanted to stand by Raja out of loyalty to Rampage, but once he saw the entire live stream, his stance flipped instantly. Schaub admitted there was zero way to excuse what Raja did, saying the situation is way too serious to brush off and could leave a permanent stain on Raja's future. He explained that if the wrestler, Psycho Stu, decides not to press charges, Raja might dodge prison but will still get roasted online. But if charges are filed, Schaub warned Raja could be staring at accusations like aggravated assault or even attempted murder, and that's a whole different nightmare. Then Kevin Lee jumped in with some blunt talk. He said no matter how much respect he's got for Rampage.
And if it's Rampage, I love Rampage. But Rampage, turn your son in. He got to go lay down for a little bit. Like, if it was my son, that's what I would tell him. I mean, you a grown man, bro. you can't condone that type of behavior, bro. You gotta go lay down for a little bit. We'll get you a good lawyer. You ain't gonna be in there forever, but you gotta go lay down. I get it. He hit you in the head with a bottle beforehand. I get it. You shouldn't have did that. I don't condone that either.
The right move would be to hand Raja over to the authorities and let him face the music. Lee explained that if it were his own son, he'd expect the same, because violent behavior like this can't just be swept under the rug. He reminded everyone Raja's a grown man now and needs to accept the fallout, even if that fallout is jail time. Kevin did acknowledge that the wrestler was wrong to smash Raja first with a bottle, but he made it clear that doesn't justify the savage retaliation that followed. Kevin Lee doubled down, blasting the way the ambush went down. He pointed out Raja waited for hours, then attacked the wrestler while he was on duty in character, leaving the man blindsided and completely unprepared.
Ask you, I know you're close with Rampage Jackson, you guys are good friends. What was your immediate reaction to what his son his son did yesterday?
I was with him, extremely unhappy. He wasn't happy. You know, he's my friend, so I can't really overcome it. That Rampage was definitely not happy.
So you were Rampage when he saw the video. He was disappointed? Okay, cool. Well, hopefully they can get it all figured out and
he's
learning lessons.
I'm a father, he's a father. Obviously, he's very concerned with his son. He wants him to right, but he's also very unhappy. So, I don't want to get anything in Rampage yet, but not happy. I mean, would you be happy?
No,
but he's also very concerned because he loves his son, so he's very concerned. So that's a tricky situation.
Well, prayers to everyone involved.
Yeah, exactly. I hope everything. Hope the guy ends up healthy. Hope his son is okay. Rampage okay. It wasn't a good situation.
All right. Thank you for your time, Vic.
Lee revealed shocking reports that the victim's heart actually stopped and he was left unconscious for several minutes, calling it one of the most serious injuries you can imagine in a so-called show. He tore into Raja's lack of judgment, saying the assault showed zero restraint and crossed a line nobody could ever call reasonable. In Lee's eyes, the only path forward is jail time, to force Raja to take responsibility and hopefully learn from the chaos he created. Jack Shields, who was right there with Rampage when everything unfolded,
you know, if this was anybody other than Rampage Jackson's son, I don't think there'd be any empathy here at all. But we all love Rampage, and he's the man, you know. And the fact that he's his son, we're all sitting here like, bro, what the fuck, you know? And what do we think about this? You know, if it was just anybody else in the world, it'd be like, bro, throw that motherfucker, you know, in the cage and throw the key away, man. And that's probably what's going to happen to him. Like, you know, we say they're investigating. Like, well, there's not a lot to investigate. Like, there's a video that shows it pretty goddamn clear, you know, what do we need to investigate here? So, you know, what's he gonna get? You know, I don't know what like attempted murder is, but I mean, he was fucking knocked out and punching the shit out of him. You know, I don't know how far they go in there or what the details are to get that charge. Aggravated assault's for sure, battery, you know what I mean? Like, it's a felony for sure, right? I mean, there's I don't think there's any way out of that. So, you know, kind of just is what it is for him now. But like what a shitty move, man. You know, like, you want to fight the guy, fight the guy. Like, dude was like, you know, we watched the video right before the podcast here. You know, the dude was like preparing for a wrestling style pro wrestling style takedown, and the motherfucker slammed him on his head. Like, you know, dude's lucky that, you know, they said he's hospitalized, but man, he's lucky that that's all that happened. You know?
Painted a heavy picture too. He said Rampage was shaken and visibly torn apart as a father, furious at what went down, but also crushed with disappointment in his son. Shields described the atmosphere as tense and unsettling, with Rampage juggling the role of a protective parent and a man dealing with public humiliation. He admitted Rampage wanted a fair resolution, but couldn't hide how deeply the situation was weighing on him. Shields said he just hopes the victim fully recovers and that Raja finally takes this as a life-changing lesson.
Hopefully the guy's all right, man. That's about all you can say at the end of the day, right? Hopefully the guy just heals up and, you know, with some PTSD or being a veteran and everything, man, you know, we just hope that the guy turns out okay, man. Send him some positive energy and hope for the best. That's about the most you can say about it. Other than that, you know, again, loving Rampage, but, you know, hopefully justice is done and his son gets what he deserves. I don't agree with Sean on that at all. You know, like, the dude doesn't, like, it'd be one thing, you know, if like they got in a fight and he fucked him up and, you know, hurt him bad, right? But like, the dude was defenseless and then knocked out. Like, fuck him. And the only guy that should not be saying fuck him is Rampage, right? Because it's his son. And he's the one that should be saying, you know, can we just give him some help or something, you know, try to stick up for him. But everybody else, I mean, we have no reason to have any sympathy for that kind of behavior.
Then Matt Brown came in swinging with cold honesty. He said straight up that if Raja wasn't Rampage's son, there'd be zero sympathy for him. Brown explained the only reason people are holding back is because of the respect Rampage still commands in the fight world, but Brown didn't sugarcoat the reality. The footage speaks for itself. He said the video clearly shows the wrestler getting slammed and pounded repeatedly while unable to defend himself, making it impossible to argue otherwise. Matt Brown didn't mince words. He flat out called the attack a clear felony, possibly aggravated assault, or even worse. He said Raja is lucky the victim survived with only the reported injuries because it could have ended way darker. Brown admitted people naturally want to support Rampage, but stressed that this situation still demands accountability. Raja, he insisted, must face the full weight of his actions. Brown blasted the beatdown as unnecessary and completely unfair, especially since the victim never had a chance to defend himself. He added that while Rampage might be the only one in a position to ask for leniency, everyone else needs to accept just how wrong this was. Brown closed by sending hope toward the injured wrestler, wishing him a full recovery given his rough past struggles. Ryan Garcia turned the spotlight on something bigger, the dangerous culture of streaming. He warned that chasing clout online has pushed people into doing the unthinkable live just to grab views. Garcia said the obsession with going viral is spiraling out of control, and unless clear boundaries get set, there'll only be more dangerous stunts like this that put lives at risk. Ben Askren broke it down bluntly. Throwing 22 punches at someone already unconscious could have caused permanent, devastating damage. He said Raja probably would have kept swinging if no one had stepped in, underlining just how deadly the assault really was. Then Sean Strickland jumped in with his trademark sarcasm, joking that it looked like Raja might be joining him in anger management classes. But he didn't leave it there. Strickland twisted the knife with a brutal remark, saying only one of them would still have the right to vote and carry a gun afterward. His jab made it crystal clear just how much legal heat Raja Jackson could be facing after this scandal. Even after the brutal showdown, Raja Jackson didn't cool off. He was later spotted on the street still yelling at the wrestler, his anger boiling over for everyone to see. Witnesses said his rage carried on long after the fight itself, proving this wasn't just a heat-of-the-moment reaction, but a full display of aggression spiraling out of control. His lack of restraint was obvious both during and after the assault, leaving people shocked at just how far he pushed it. The scene painted a picture of someone who couldn't let go, shouting down his opponent like he wanted to keep the war going outside the ring. It showed not just his fury, but his complete disregard for how serious the situation already was. The question hanging heavy now, with all the footage, the outrage, and the victim's injuries, is simple. Should Raja Jackson be sent to jail for what he did? And if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share to stay in the loop with all the latest tea. Hit that notification bell so you never miss an update, and I'll catch you in the next video.